Hey everyone, it's Alexis. I am back with a brand new video. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. Today, you guys, as promised, I have a brand new success story, and I am talking about her success, my client's wonderful, beautiful success with multiple areas, okay? She manifested so many things. She manifested a change in her weight and her body, how she lost an incredible amount of weight. She manifested a new specific person. She recreated herself. She figured out so many things along the way. And I really encouraged her to write in a success story because so many of us can learn from it. And what she boiled it down to is also very workable, very usable. It comes down to you. Okay. So I'm talking about that today. I also want to talk about, and along with her story, who are you choosing and deciding you are? Right? Let's bring self-concept to a workable manner. Who are you choosing? Who are you deciding? Who are you being in your circus of reality? Oh my gosh, that's the first time I've called it a circus. Okay. But let's see it that way. Let's see your energetic holographic reality as it is usually, like for most of us, it can be kind of a circus, right? Does it involve a lot of people? Are there a lot of factors in your reality? Are there a lot of people and situations that you feel like are against you? Or is it just your specific person? Is he or she the only one that's just driving you nuts? What are you doing about it in your mind? How can we get you on track? How can we stay on track this week, right? Okay, now that's been said, let me get to her success story. This one is a little bit long. Long meaning she has a lot to say, and I love reading it, so I'm going to read the whole thing. And if I pause, it's to leave out anything that I feel like is just too not confidential. All right. I am so excited to finally be sharing my success story with Alexis. Apologies in advance. This is a long one. I have been coaching with Alexis for about 1.5 years, and it's been nothing short of life-changing. I initially came to her with the intention of manifesting my ex back, but along the way, I've discovered so much about myself and manifested so many wonderful things. Before coaching, I had come across the law of assumption a few years earlier, but could never get it right on my own when it came to love. I found the Create Your Future channel during that time and always resonated with Alexis when she'd refer to what's happening in our 3D as data. When I finally booked an appointment with Alexis a few years later, I was distraught, heartbroken, and ready for change. Through multiple coaching sessions, I came to realize that there were many aspects of my ex in our relationship that I didn't particularly like. However, during our relationship, I was diagnosed with HSV2. Oh, you guys, let me put a pause on the video because I have to be on a different screen. She also manifested, there was a health concern, HSV2. Not putting that out there for anyone. It is the herpes virus. Okay. So she also manifested that. She's talking about it. I totally forgot she brought this up in her story, but she said she wanted to be public about it. Also, I've had lots of clients, all ways that are diagnosed with something. So let's use this as information also to give you confidence with your person. If you've contracted something that you feel like can get in the way of a relationship, it's up to you. I forgot about this part. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. I was deeply affected. This deeply affected my self-confidence and sense of self-worth. And in reality, it was the only reason I wanted him back. I thought it would be easier to get back together with him since I had already accepted it rather than be vulnerable and risk rejection from something new. This realization in session is when the deep inner work and growth began, right? Amazing. Through coaching, I was able to change my thoughts about the diagnosis. It really is no big deal, and work on my self-concept. I manifested an amazing weight loss, created changes that I wanted for myself at work, and repaired relationships with my family. This was huge, you guys, this part. I even healed my relationship with my dad after we hadn't seen each other for several years. Coaching with Alexis has been like peeling back layers of the onion of myself, uncovering and changing thought patterns that no longer serve me, allowing me to create the things I want in different areas of my life. Finally, I was ready to focus on my romantic relationships. This had always been a challenging area for me, with a reoccurring pattern of not being chosen, lack of communication, abandonment, and ghosting. This is the video, you guys, that I promised I talk about ghosting, how she turned it around, okay? Even when she thought the G word was happening, okay? I started going on dates again, and during my sessions with Alexis, we experimented with different affirmations. Through this process, we discovered that I have a kinesthetic learning style. I have always wondered why affirmations for love felt more challenging than in other areas of my life, but now I understand my learning style, and it's been a big game changer for me. Eventually, I met my current SP. This is my first time dating someone while consciously creating, and Alexis has been a huge support every step of the way. As things evolve, we make tweaks to my affirmations, and a main focus always being on my self-concept. Through our work in coaching, I was able to manifest him being completely unfazed by my diagnosis. You guys, this is bananas, okay? And us having the relationship talk, like it's crazy, okay? She had such a fear and insecurity about her diagnosis. But when she told him, it was like a non-issue because we decided it was a non-issue. So this is for you ladies or guys out there. If you have a diagnosis that you think is in the way of you and your person, let's decide it's not. Okay. Okay. I'm getting really excited. I was able to manifest him being completely unfazed by my diagnosis and us having the relationship talk. Whoa, bananas. Okay. However, this is a lifelong process of self-transformation. So of course, after we had the relationship talk, he went out of town, communication slowed, and I found myself convinced that my biggest relationship fear was happening yet again. I was getting ghosted, okay? Alexis coached me through all of my tears during our emergency session, and I left the session empowered that I am creating all of this. This relationship comes from me. I am important. I matter. This is not like last time. He's explaining this to me. I'm going to pause and say that one more time. Her affirmations here are in italics. Okay. This relationship comes from me. I'm important. I matter. This is not like last time. He's explaining this to me. I told myself I'm going to trust Alexis's guidance. And after a couple of days of staying on my mental diet, my SP explained everything. Shocker. I'm still working on creating additional changes in my relationship, like improving communication and receiving more adoration. But I'm so proud of myself for working through this as things are unfolding. Okay. I'm also learning to celebrate all of my successes as they come together in the 3D. I didn't even realize into our last session how much success I've already had. Part of me thought things had to unfold like a fairy tale to be considered a success, but now I understand that's not the case. I finally feel so empowered that I can do this in all areas of my life, even love. And whenever it gets difficult, I know I have Alexis to support me. Let me vent and then get back on track with her no nonsense approach. Thank you so much, Alexis, for everything. Love you and see you in our next session. XOXO. Okay. So you guys, is that just amazing? And can we just have a moment, right? I do not have, what do I have? Anything like a cupcake for her. You know, you guys, I found stickers recently when I was going through old things of mine that are actually cupcakes. Here we go. Let's have a cupcake for her. There's multiple here, right? Because she really put in the work. Now, I want to say too, as she put in the work for self-change, like she said, there were times of sadness, tears, feeling so distraught, feeling like the same thing was happening, especially the ghosting thing, and especially the diagnosis, okay? The diagnosis and the ghosting were such triggers. Now, both times, it proved to be what she actually was creating. It wasn't what happened before. It wasn't what the worst fear, because we intervened. Now, this takes a lot of practice and a lot of work to how do you intervene with your thoughts when something comes up. It takes diligence and consistency and focusing, choosing and deciding who you are. Do you see how the basis of everything in her story was choosing her and choosing her differently? I want to differentiate too. It is not about changing self. It is choosing differently of self. When this is happening to me out here we go. When they are saying this to me, what am I taking it on about me? Now, when you first do this, you're going to rapid fire hear your mind say things. Okay. It takes listening and unraveling. And like she said, peeling back the layers of the onion, the layer of ourselves and why we have created who we are, how we create who we are in the present moment comes from so many things, so many people, beliefs and ideas. And we really have to spend time getting to the bottom of it, which is what I did with her. Okay. I also want to say that you can, if you want to be a success story, she specifically out of, just saying, she listened to me. Okay. Whatever I told her to do, she did. And also to say, we figured out her kinesthetic learning style. If you're new to my videos or you have no idea what that is. We spent time talking about and having her do her affirmations, doing that. We really practiced. And then she figured out a way that she was kinesthetic, which is more feeling oriented. This is different than the feeling is the secret. feeling oriented as her learning style and system within. Okay. I do have a learning styles quiz that is part of the Be a Master Manifestor course I have. You can also take one online, but it really takes experimenting. Okay. I remember way back in the day, I thought that I was kinesthetic because of being a dancer and being in fitness and being in the physical body. No, I am extremely visual, but it took practicing, learning, and understanding. And I use my visual cortex to manifest my reality on purpose, because that's my learning style. So once she figured that out, we had a method for her to do her affirmations to get into the feeling of getting it. Okay. But she listened. She didn't get off course. Okay. She didn't like book a session and then book a session in 6 months and be like, I haven't done anything. Here I am again. Okay. She really committed to it financially, spiritually, and mentally with herself. Okay. And she really went through the ringer. I mean, look at these various aspects. Okay. And she really healed her relationship with her dad. They had been like estranged. I think we could call it estranged, and had so many issues, disagreements, and he showed up totally differently for her too. She had the same thing happen with other family members. I am so proud of her, and you can be just like her. Use this as your motivation to understand, how do I do this? Okay. We had her do her mental diet and engage differently with her thoughts, choose and decide herself differently all of the time. It wasn't a one-off. It wasn't like every time you think about it, think about this instead. That's never going to work, you guys. It has to be purposeful, determined, and focused without a shadow of a doubt, deciding all day, every day, this is who I am. Okay. I give personal plans to clients of when to do your affirmations, how often, but it's gotta be something that you're motivated, dedicated, and that you're focused on. It doesn't mean that you have to pick a specific person if you haven't picked anyone, but you got to pick to do the appropriate focusing on yourself. In a lot of videos, I say do the work on self, but it really isn't the work. It's a refocusing on choosing who you are now with your thoughts. And then you begin to be that. You act differently in your reality, and everything comes together for you. Okay. So that's the main takeaway here. You can be just like her. What she did was just put into practice and put in the basic concept of my thoughts create my reality, and my relationships with people, my interactions with people is based upon my relationship and my decision of myself. Okay. Now, if you've heard me say that in a lot of videos, and you haven't yet gotten it, right? Think of it like this: the version of you that you show up with people who you've always shown up with, guys that you like or women that you're interested in, the version of you who tends to be questioning, doubting, wondering, a bit insecure, a low level, you don't even have to have low level confidence. It can just be kind of like, when I'm with them, I'm the one that doesn't get the guy, or I'm the one that doesn't get the girl. You have to choose that you aren't that. Now, how do we choose that we aren't that? It's our thoughts. Okay. Now, she also has, I'm not getting off track here. It's like, oh, Alexis, are you saying that we don't do an affirmation for the SP? No, I'm not saying that, but it's got to come. There is no way to focus on the appropriate thoughts of a person without first focusing on re-engineering your thoughts of you. And we talked about it all, okay? Through, obviously, it was a 1.5 years of coaching, and she's still working with me. So I peeled apart the layers about where did her lack of confidence, lack of lovability come from. There were childhood issues. There were adolescent issues. There were things after that. So you guys, I want to say too in this video, the coaching process is getting to know each other. The coaching process with me to get what you want in your reality, it is not like a one-off thing. It is a process. It is a relationship. It is allowing me to get to know you so I can understand what's going on in your mind. And this is your safe space to do this. Okay. Completely safe, confidential space to do this. It is not the same as traditional therapy, or even when I did traditional hypnotherapy, because we're not staying in the drama of the past. But I've had some new clients who have booked recently who were like, oh, I've done coaching. Other people said to not talk about what's happened to me because they said that's the old story. We don't talk about that here. And I understand that might work for some people. I'm not trying to knock anyone's approach, but that does not work for me as a coach. As a coach, I want to get to know you. I want to know your pain points. I want to know what you've been through. I want to hold your hand through difficult times. I want to give you the gift of knowing that you can create exactly what you're wanting and that I'm here to support you in doing that. Okay. I'm essentially using all of my years of my self-work and years working with clients to give you the motivation and the consistent, loving kick in the butt. I am, though, not going to be like a slave driver. Okay. If you book a session and you're like, Alexis, kick my ass, it will come out in a loving way. It's not going to come out like, I'm not going to get a baseball and a baseball bat and knock sense into you. That's not me either. Okay. But I do have a way to uncover. And if you want to do a session to get it going, be prepared for that. Okay. I'm going to ask you questions. I want to get to know you. It is just for the purpose of understanding why you have created what you've created. The biggest thing is we have to look at what we've created to understand why I've created it, to know who am I going to create instead. I don't understand how you could talk to anybody. Again, not knocking anyone's approach, but at least for me, I want to get to know you and understand. Like, I asked her so many questions and she was open to the process and she really stuck with it. Okay. She didn't try to, get angry at the process or anything. It was just like, this is what I got to do. I'm going to do it. Tell me what to do. Let's do this. I'm going to focus and look at this. Okay. So really the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in your focus. I am just here to motivate you along the way, to be your accountability partner and to give you someone to talk to as you move through the aspects of reality changing. That's what coaching is for. Okay. In any event, you guys. Okay. So that's a success story today. I also said I would touch upon choosing and deciding, which I have done in this video, but I want you to ask yourself, who have I chosen and who have I decided I am in love? Am I the unlucky one? Am I the one that doesn't get the girl? Am I the one that's always left? Do people always leave me? Does love leave? That's okay that it's happened. No big deal. But we need to start associating to, I am the one that love stays with. Love is here with me. I am so amazing. I am so lovable. This is who I am. And employing those thoughts and that decision of self in the appropriate way to really, truly create that everlasting change and love in your reality. It comes down to you. Lastly, you guys, stay with the process. Okay. Manifestation of the relationship and the you, it is a evolutionary process. Like she said, it's a lifelong thing. This isn't doing something to get something, making it happen. That's the one thing about traditional therapy. You would never go to a therapist and be like, oh, well, I'm not fixed yet. This doesn't work. When am I fixed? Right? You don't want to look at reality creation as it's not happening yet. This is an overnight thing. It's instantaneous because this is spiritual and the energy of reality. Heck to the no, right? These are principles you're learning for your totality of your lifetime. That's why it's a process, because it's learning and evolving and growing. And you guys, this is the thing. The more that you consciously create and you see things, the better it gets, I promise you. Okay. It's not like the more that you learn this, the harder it is. There's more things to manifest. No, you finally know you can do it and you develop self-trust, self-value along the way. And that's really what you're here to do. That is, in my opinion, I have realized that is one of the main things that so many people are here to do in their lifetime: reclaim self-love, really, truly self-value, self-love, self-acceptance, right? And how to maintain that in relationships with others, right? Because like you guys, other people, they're always the problem, right? They're always the problem, right? If we lived on a mountaintop, if you could go and be Buddha and not be affected by anything, that's the easier way out. The more difficult way is learning how self-lovability, self-acceptance, self-value in the face of all of the stuff that told you you weren't, had you question yourself, but you guys can do it. Okay. It is right here for the taking. It is that simple. It is all about who you're being. Okay. So these are lifelong lessons. They're lifelong things, the trajectory of your whole totality of you. And it gets better and better. It does. And then we're throwing curveballs. Things happen and we course correct, figure it out, and maintain that self-lovability, self-value, self-acceptance. Right. All right, you guys. So that's my video for today. Like I always say, celebrate yourself. Go out, have an amazing Monday. Start the week off focused, determined to create the you of your choosing and not the you you've always been. And listen to this success story multiple times. There were those things I had said I forgot. Wow, what an accomplishment. I'm so proud of her. Exciting. And you can be just like her. Let's all be just like her. Let's have multiple cupcakes. These cupcakes are for everyone. Okay. If you want a cupcake on your notes during session, let me know, or it will spontaneously happen. Okay. I love you guys so much. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.